that was that point. Like, right, I threw out all of my old shoes, like conventional shoes, and just went pure barefoot. And I just haven't looked back since. And I've got 25 plus pairs of barefoot shoes now. And I've had the conversation around barefoot shoes 1,000 plus times with pretty much every single client I see. And 99.9% of them don't have a clue.
Peace and love. We are back on the Bare Athlete. Today I have a good friend in with me. We've been communicating across the seas. He is based in Melbourne, Australia. Where I'm here in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico for the time being. And he's a running coach. He's also a breath running coach as well, among some other things. And I want to have him introduce himself fully. And I'm going to introduce my friend Mick.
Cool. Yeah. Hey, Jordan, thanks for having me on, mate. Yeah, I am a running coach. I'm more of a myotherapist here in Australia, so that is kind of like I think a physical therapist over in America.
Yes.
I've been a trainer coach now since the age of 21, so freaking 18 years now, so a long time, and got into myotherapy about 8 years ago, I think. And then along the way, got more into the running side of things, basically because of my own injuries, because I was a high-level rugby player for many years, and unfortunately, three ACL ruptures in the space of 4 years destroyed my career at 26. And that's when I dove into learning more about myself, learning why that happened to me, understanding that very much preventable, which pissed me off. All the people I worked with was like, why didn't they know this, etc. So I went on a deep dive, and that's when I became a myotherapist. And one of the biggest changes for me was working with my chiropractor quite a while ago now, and he actually re-taught me how to run, which sounds silly, but I do believe a part of my ACL ruptures were because of my running technique. And started playing rugby when I was age of 5, played all the sports, but of all the sports I played, never once was I taught how to run. I did a little bit of athletics in an off season once with a bit of sprint technique and all that, but not really the fundamentals, the natural way that humans run, because it's just seen as something that we do. So relearning how to run was a game changer for me because I used to be fast, I used to be powerful, but I was told by one of my coaches that my knees used to kind of knock together as I was sprinting, which sounds pretty stupid. Had intensive physio to help fix that, but don't know if it did or not, and pretty much didn't because of the ACL ruptures, because 2 of the 3 ACL ruptures, I was sidestepping. So no one touched me. And so I just didn't have the stability, didn't have the mobility in my legs, my hips, my glutes, feet, etc. And the knee just took it
Yeah.
out. So I've kind of gone down that rabbit hole the last probably decade now with taking what I learned from my chiropractor with his workshop, adapted it over time to my own with my own knowledge through my therapy, my coaching, the breath work, just learning from so many coaches around the world and through social media and YouTube, etc. And come up with my own kind of 7-step system now, which brings it back to the fundamentals of natural running, the way humans were actually born to run. Because you look at today, current society we live in with sedentary lifestyle, ill-fitting shoes, etc. That's what we're fighting against the most, and that's one of my biggest passions now. And I've really leaned in more towards helping youths run now because it's great helping adults, but a lot of them are just stuck in their own ways. Whereas kids, they're a lot more malleable and impressionable, and I'm getting a lot of awesome results with the younger age groups now, and it's a really good passion project of mine to help as many kids utilize their body, optimize their body, understand their body, and become happier, more confident young athletes. So that's my current journey that I'm on right now.
Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, and it's definitely something. Learning how to run again feels kind of redundant for a lot of people, but no one's ever really taught us how to run. Like, if I think now, like people, there's people like you who exist who are like breaking down the running mechanics. If you were born 2000 and earlier, like I was born in 1990, and like you're growing up, you run. There's no level of like, okay, now you want to make sure you're staying on your toes. You want to make sure you're going side to side. You know, there was no head over foot idea, and giving credit to WEC and the WEC method of just like head over foot and that kind of balancing while running. All that wasn't breaking down. It's just go as fast as you can.
Pretty much, yeah.
Especially at a kid level, and then maybe if you actually ran track and field, then they broke down like some drills and biomechanics. Then you had to hit. I remember learning hip to lip while running. Like your hand should be hip to lip while like that's driving your arms, and it's something in simple form, I teach. Because I was a track coach as well. But I definitely, if I went back into it now, I would be teaching running totally different because my mind's just been revolutionized on barefoot and running and gait and all of that, versus when I was doing before. I'm like, yeah, just run. And then I would look at where you are and I would say, okay, drive your knees, drive your arms, pick your knees up. Um, Maybe
Yeah,
incorporating some butt kicks, just the standard
classic stuff.
plyometric
Yeah.
drills.
Yeah, it's
But
interesting with a lot of those cues. Like a lot of people actually, it's very hard to understand exactly what you're trying to get out of that because so many humans are disconnected from their bodies. So it's all right doing high knees, but are you doing high knees with intent? Are you making sure you're using the right muscles that actually start that movement? Because again, coming back to sedentary lifestyle and the shoes we wear, most people are so disconnected from their bodies and they have no awareness of what muscles should be working at a given time. Because
yeah,
unfortunately for our bodies, we are efficiently lazy. That's like our brain is designed to be efficiently lazy, and it's always going to use the muscles that are most available to the body. And because of excessive sitting down and the heel raisers in shoes, like our quads are just always going to be there available. Our calves are going to be available, whereas our hip flexors are very well hidden. Our glutes are very well hidden, which is just crazy because they're one of the biggest, strongest muscle in the body. Most people do not have access to these muscles, so if they're doing high knees, they're probably lifting with their quads with no hip flexor involved. And if we haven't got a hip flexor playing along, the psoas, we're not going to get full extension of that hip. We're not going to get full glute function. So there's no wonder why there's an epidemic of injuries and hamstring strains and knee injuries and lower back is because most athletes, most humans are so disconnected from what they actually need to do with their body. And that's where the whole barefoot thing comes around, where you can actually feel the ground, to respond to the ground, to perceive the ground, to tell the rest of the body what it needs to do.
yeah,
And we are just so blindfolded to our bodies today, and we expect them just to do the right thing. But why are injuries going up and up and up and up? And
yeah,
people think, oh, I need a new pair of shoes to stop this injury, to help this pain. Oh, like no one actually looks at their body. They go to get treatment, or they buy new shoes, or they buy this, I don't know, an external crutch or whatever, expecting that to help instead of actually understanding what is going on with that body and what can I do to fix my body to help what I want to do, not add external
yeah.
apparatus to it.
Definitely, and I think there's, I would say, marketing wins in this category because the PTs, the myotherapists, the stretch therapists, people like us, also the shoe companies, they're winning at marketing because they're saying, hey, this shoe will do this, and even like drug companies are like, hey, do you have this type of pain? Take this, but nobody is marketing your unique body. No one's saying, "Hey, Mick, you should pause, listen to your body, maybe just move around in your house a little bit, and just kind of." I have a 3-stage process where I call listen, learn, and locomote. Where it's like just taking a moment to sitting down. You wake up, you just pause, and you just sit down, you lay down, do whatever you need to do, and you listen. You just kind of do a scan, like listen to your body, what's saying what. Then you move your body, whichever movement you want to do. You could do light movement. It could be jump rope. It could be yoga. It could be simple mobility flow. It could be even dancing. And you're learning what's happening with the body in real time. So like you may learn like, oh, my knee's feeling this, or my hip is feeling this, and you just add through your natural low level ex movement. You start to expose your body to movement, and you start to learn some things. and then you locomote. You put your body in motion. You actually start to put some sweat equity in, and then you kind of put in what the body's asking for. So there's some days I know like my body just wants to run, and it wants to run fast. Some days it wants to run slow. Some days it wants to dance. Like, and it's just like, cool. It's gonna be a 3 minutes just hardcore dancing, blasting music and going in, and it's like, or it's like you need some toe spacers. And you put some toe spacers on, and you do the house chores, and so it's. I created it. I wanted to like kind of sell. Naturally, my mind used to be like create something and sell, but I'm like just create something and create for the people where they could use it, and it's not so scalable per se, but it's something that's like, hey, this is for you and your body. This is what you should do, because, and it's not something you can really track progress per se, because it's not like a wake up and do 50 push-ups, and then when 50 push-ups feel easy, then you can do 100. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
hey, today dance, tomorrow run 10 miles. Like whatever your body is actually asking for. But yeah, to that point. So going into the body, I want to start my first question I do with every podcast. Will be doing it every podcast. When did you first fall in love with your feet?
Well, good question. I ran about not long after I retired from rugby. So, 13 years ago was when I started to really understand my body. And again, it was that same chiropractor who kind of think exposed me to barefoot shoes. And it was Vivo Barefoots back then. And he was, I think he was selling them in time and he gave me a couple of pairs. And loved wearing them. I didn't wear them as much as I obviously do now. But I was silly enough back then to do a Tough Mudder race in them. So 20 Ks, Tough Mudder, destroyed myself. So I did the stupid thing, trying to run around in them, and that was a big mistake. But it was a good eye opener. It was like, okay, what's going on here? And then also going back to my first ACL rupture, I had to wear boots that were a little bit too big for me because I had to tape up my foot somehow, and I think I used to blame that the boots were too big. But now I look back and like, no, they were probably actually the right size because most footy boots cleats are too small anyway. But I think just that interaction with my car, it just got the brain thinking. Then you go do your own deep dive, and that's when I found I think the Foot Collective back then, and just started experimenting myself. And then the more and more clients I got coming into the clinic, I now have a horrible habit of as soon as I meet someone new, I look straight at their feet. So I go see, what shoes are you wearing? And it was just case after case after case. Like a lot of these aches and pains are coming from the shoes they're wearing in the feet. And when I started at my clinic here in Melbourne 6.5 years ago, I'd moved down from Canberra, and that was that point. I was like, right, I threw out all of my old shoes, like conventional shoes, and just went pure barefoot, and I just haven't looked back since. And I've got 25 plus pairs of barefoot shoes now, and I've had the conversation around barefoot shoes 1,000 plus times with pretty much every single client I see. 99.9% of them don't have a clue. And like you said before, going back to that marketing, we are just sold these new technology, this new crazy new feature on shoes, and we buy them because they look cool, they're aesthetically pleasing, and they're comfortable. And so I went
Yeah.
through the transition of being uncomfortable with the feet, with the shoes, um, but it really wasn't that hard. And it just made so much sense to me as a coach, as a therapist, is like, I need to feel the ground. And I think the biggest thing I always come back to is like, were you born with shoes on your feet? No. No one was, no one ever will be. It'd be pretty weird if they were.
Very weird.
Um, yeah, and so the amount of people have helped from that. I mean, even, what was it, just recently I had a young 18-year-old cricket player come in with really bad calf pain, and every time he went for a run, his calves would just tighten up and he couldn't explain it. He'd been to physios, chiros, osteos, like spent so much money on different therapists, and no one ever looked at above his knee. They just went straight for the calf, straight for the
Wow.
calves. They gave orthotics, they gave wedges in his shoes, big cushion shoes. No one even thought about going up to the hips. And it was probably the biggest thing I worked out years ago myself is like your feet and your hips are connected in such a important way because of what happened to my knees. The poor knees are just stuck in the middle. I call it the middle child syndrome for the knees. It's got older brother the
Yeah,
hip,
definitely.
younger sister the feet. They're causing all the dramas, and the poor old knee in the middle gets all the pain. So
Yeah.
you've got to look the body as a whole. It's a unit. But you look in the health and fitness industry over years and years and years, we isolate muscles, we isolate body parts. Do your hamstring curls, do your calf raises. Like, no, let's a calf raise is a full leg raise.
Right.
It was probably the biggest eye opener of my whole career is learning about the feet and just having a look back then. And it's very rare that I find someone who's not open to the idea of that and they get it. But unfortunately, people still don't want to change their shoes because of the fashion.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's such a hard thing to play with.
I remember when I first got really comfortable with my feet is when I started yoga about almost over 10 years ago. It was the end of 2014, and I started yoga, and I actually started my yoga teacher training 10 years ago around this time, around October. And I was comfortable with like taking my socks and shoes off, being on the mat, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I'm actually like understanding, connecting more with my body, and I'm like going through, like now I'm like intensely doing yoga like 3-5 times a week, going to classes, doing some of my own. But afterwards, I'm still jumping back into my Adidas, my Nikes, my slides, and nothing. And from 2015, really up until maybe 2023, I haven't actually like adapted to the barefoot shoe lifestyle. Luckily, because I was like working all day and just seeing clients as a therapist, I was barefoot. So, and when I had my own studio, I would have like a no shoe rule. Like you come in, you gotta take your shoes off immediately. Like it's just no shoes allowed. So it forced everybody out their shoes, and I was comfortable. I wasn't wearing shoes all day, but eventually I kind of like really aligned and locked in with Adidas and Ultra Boost specifically, and I would run in those, and I would wear them all the time, saying like I just want to be ready to run. Like if I ever had to go, I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, luckily I wasn't out and about a lot, so I was barefoot a lot, and I got into animal flow and teaching animal flow, so I'm always just quickly barefoot in the grass, gravel, wherever I am. So I loved being barefoot, but I haven't made that like you're saying, I haven't made that switch to loving overall my foot health. Like understanding I need to make sure I'm not putting on socks that are super constrictive, and I'm not allowing toe splay, and also not putting on shoes that's restricting, because I would still go do like toe mobility and toe yoga and struggle to have my toe dexterity actually do what it needs to do, lift up big toe, lift up second
I
toe,
still
third,
struggle.
etc. And it wasn't until I got serious about it, started actually doing the exercises, wearing toe spacers a lot more, and getting out of Adidas and wearing barefoot shoes like a full time. Now I own one pair of slides that are from Allbirds, and they are extremely comfortable, but I wear them after like tough runs. I may do 4 miles barefoot, and yes, my feet are gonna hurt after that. Like they're gonna hurt. So I'm like, oh, okay, great. I'm gonna go into these super comfortable. They're made out of
Yeah,
like sugar foam, and I'm like, yeah, it's cool. It's a nice like, not recovery, but just like a break from working so hard.
exactly.
But it's yeah, and it's. But I think what do you think what would have to change in the parents' mind for them to start buying barefoot shoes for their kids?
And that's where it starts, right? It's with the parents because the moment any kind of toddler starts to walk, they're put in these Adidas Yeezys or Connies or something like that.
Yeah,
And because the kids obviously don't know, but what kid wants to wear shoes? They really don't, and it's hard to get them on. It's just going to come down to education, and it's the biggest thing I want to get into, especially schools around here, and just showing parents what they are potentially doing to their kids' feet at the age of 2, 3, 4, going on, because the foot doesn't stop growing till you're at least 18. You know, your arch doesn't start developing till you're 4 or 5, I think it is. And I've seen parents complain in on social media, oh, my 3-year-old has flat feet. What am I supposed to do? You serious? Just there's a massive lack of education because the shoe industry, the Adidas, the Nikes, all of that, they own 99.9% of it, and they're making a shitload of money, and they're not going to
Yeah.
change. They know about the benefits of barefoot shoes. They do.
Yeah, and some of their shoes, Nike specific, they have some shoes in the kids and toddler section that are super like flat, super flexible, and I'm like wider toe box, and I'm like, yeah, grandma, we could get these. Not
Yeah,
those, only
yeah,
these.
yeah. And it's brand loyalty. Parents grow up with their favorite brands and they want their kids in them, and it's psychological from the marketers. They are the ones that are winning. So it's trying to expose the parents to the barefoot world first to show them what it's doing for their kids. Because even for close to home, with my stepson who's 7 now, as soon as I met him when he was 4, I told my partner, let's get him into barefoot shoes. But we had some kickback from his father, which I get it because he doesn't have the education around that, and he's slowly coming around to it. And even told me my stepson's like, oh, those shoes have got too much cushion. They've got too much heel raise. Like he knows. And so it's just having that conversation with them. And it's, again, coming back to the educational side of things. And hopefully more of these, I mean, there are so many barefoot shoe brands coming out, which is great. But they are just so far behind your Nike, Adidas, Asics, etc.
Yeah,
Vivo obviously leading the way, but they're still a very small minority compared to the bigger brands. So
yeah.
there's more and more conversations like this. There's more out there on social media that it is slowly changing. But I reckon it's going to take another 15, 20 years before it's kind of mainstream.
And I think I hope not, but I think you're right. And I feel like education is one piece, but some people don't care to learn. Some people's feet, they don't their life is not affected to their awareness by their feet. So they're growing up and they're wearing whatever shoe, whatever big name shoe, and then now they're having kids and they love their shoe. It didn't do them wrong at all. So like, yeah, cool. My kids, they want the Nikes and they want the shoe. Or I think there's a level of like education that could change it, but I think what is driving the shoe purchase is behind marketing is the culture. So the culture of athletics right now, which still goes to marketing, is most of your top athletes are backed by these shoe companies. So if you look at the top athletes and you're looking at out like if I am a 15-year-old athlete, I care about performance, I care about winning. I want to look at who's winning. And if I see who's winning and they're wearing Nikes, they're wearing Reeboks, they're wearing New Balance, whatever, it's like, okay, those are the ones I want to wear. And it's like, how can I think my thought process is like, what if what if the whole barefoot community tackled that of like, we need to get some winning people in barefoot shoes and just promoting the barefoot lifestyle, so now we could then help the youth see that and be like, oh, maybe I should take care of my feet. And even because I'm not, officially backed by any shoe. I love Vivo Barefoot. Like the shoes are great. I run in them. I at this point I live by them. But my kids have a brand called Witten. They're really good. They're cheap to get on Amazon when you're shipping to America, at least. And then my 1-year-old has a pair. I think, what are they called? Can't think of them right now, but they're from Spain originally, and they're really good. They're a solid pair of barefoot shoes, and I'm like, cool, like barefoot shoes, great. As long as our feet can do what it needs to do, let's go forward. But I think if we start to promote just the barefoot training and the barefoot health and making that cool from the athletic perspective, so really calling out coaches, calling out athletes, calling out the people who are responsible for the training and development of these athletes, and like just kicking all socks and shoes off to the side, and let's actually start training this amazing piece of technology that you've been ignoring. And then let's also like get that on camera. Let's also like make a commercial out of this, like, hey, like, back to your point, your body, let's zoom in on the body, not this additional thing that you're going to put your body into or put onto your body, and selling and marketing that. And I think that's one of the issues. Like, capitalism, you can't make money off of, like, the Nike can't make money off of Jordan's body.
No,
Per se.
of course, yeah. But there is
Like, it's not
this slow.
scalable.
No, there is slowly starting to see signs of athletes in them. I think there's an NBA player, Isaiah Stewart. He's now sponsored by Zero,
Yes, yeah. That's which
and they've
is
got
we
the
have one.
Zero X1s. But then just recently, both LeBron James and Cristiano Ronaldo were seen training in barefoot shoes. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know
I did
what
see those pictures.
I don't know what exercise LeBron was trying to do there. Some sumo deadlift, like whoever his coach is, just needs to be shot. But he was in the shoes, which is great. And I've
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
I got a feeling that the Ronaldo one was actually AI. I've just got this inkling that it is. But that got shared tremendously. I mean, two of the biggest athletes in the world. That's what people need to see. Oh, if he's wearing it, I'm going to wear it. Because I even see it again with my 7-year-old. He played soccer this year, and all the kids still 6, 7 years old. They're still about Messi and Ronaldo. They're in there. They're 38, 39, 40. Like, no one cares about them anymore. But the kids are still noticing them, which is crazy. So it's all well and good, someone like Ronaldo doing it, but we need that younger generation of athletes coming through to be open to this lifestyle. And I think they are behind closed doors. They're just not ready to show it all yet. Because
Yeah.
I think I watch a lot of my soccer team, Liverpool's like training YouTube videos and that. And the one player who's always barefoot in the gym is Mo Salah. And
Okay.
I don't know if you know about him, but he's an Egyptian player who's one of the best players in the world. And he's the only one in the gym barefoot compared to everyone doing all their plyometrics, their jumps, their weights and stuff
Yeah.
in their big Nikes, Adidas, etc. So it was really, really interesting to see that the better players do actually know about it. And I'm sure even Messi, he's probably barefoot a lot because he's not in the gym lifting weights. He's a very elastic, fascial driven athlete.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
it would be great if you ever see him in barefoot shoes because then the whole soccer world would explode.
Yeah, for sure. And I think most of these shoes are uncomfortable. Like, nobody actually, I can't say nobody. I don't think a large amount of athletes love being in their basketball shoes, their boots, their cleats, their spikes, anything. Nobody's like, oh, I just love how they feel when they're on. No, it's like I remember buying like my track spikes to be super tight because I wanted the barefoot feeling, but I didn't understand how to get it other than get a very small, tight shoe so I could just feel like it's just with me. There's no I didn't want any space outside of my shoe. But of course, the toe box was narrow, which I'm sure my by the time I put cleats on, spikes on, I'm sure my toes were already narrow because I've been wearing the conventional shoe already. And but I felt in the moment I thought I felt great. I'm like, oh, these fit good. I'm like, they're super tight. And I remember having the last pair that I actually bought myself. They were tight, and I'm like, oh, they'll work. I'll just, I'll kind of like, hammer my toes just a little bit, and I'll make it work. luckily I didn't compete in them too much. This was after college, and I was trying to do after I was trying to compete open, and it didn't work out. Luckily, because I probably would have still been in spikes. But it was, I think, if everybody, all these athletes that feel uncomfortable and say, "Hey, these shoes suck. They're too tight. I don't feel great in them. I can't wait to take them off." Then and then make that normal to say I don't like my shoes and start training barefoot, start moving barefoot. Just like I think it will create a bigger opening, an avenue to be like either for these bigger brands to shift and start making better shoes, or for the barefoot companies to come in and be like, hey, we'll take care of you. Like if we can't get the whole team, we can get this number.
That's with one player,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, when I was growing up back in England playing soccer, the common belief back then, and I probably think it is still today, that the tighter your boot, the closer your foot is to the boot, the more control you have on the ball. And as kids, that's what you believed, right? That's what I want. I want more control. Like like the Adidas Predators, they had these little like fins on the boot, so you could curl the ball more. So you wanted it closer to the foot. You look back at now, it's like, how is that going to give you more control on the ball? Like, it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just a weird belief that I honestly do believe is probably still out there, and it's probably what a lot of boots are still made of.
It definitely is, and I think even now I'm thinking about it, going back to like colleges are all sponsored by a big brand. Because I ran track in college, and it's like, okay, I need this shoe and this shoe and this shoe because I was a multi-sport athlete. So I ended up doing a decathlon. But like our jerseys are going to come from Nike, which means all our shoes are going to come from Nike, which means, so it's just like, it's one company that comes in and says, we'll get a deal and we'll take care of you entirely. So going from, because maybe even if you are from a youth, like understanding, hey, I want to train barefoot. I want to like lock in with this company. I love my Vivos. I train in them. I do everything I can in them. And then you go to college and you're a great athlete, and the rule is you have to wear this stuff. I think, and this is why my argument is maybe not so much of another barefoot shoe company, but like, let's train you to be barefoot. And if you have to put on this shoe, like every top marathon runner, especially from any country in Africa, their bare feet can handle it. Like they could run a 10K barefoot easily, and so they have the intelligent equipment, which is their own feet. Then they put them in this souped up, whatever it is, Puma, Nike, Reebok, etc., and then when they do that, then it's like, then they can have a enhanced experience in that shoe. And I think if we start to, from your level, from working with youth between 12 all the way to 18 before they get to college, if they have a better understanding of their feet, of their body overall, and training it, not like, let me just train my feet, let me train my biceps, let me train my core. If you train the body completely barefoot, so that way when they're doing any movement, if they're doing power cleans and they're doing it barefoot, they actually understand how to generate power from the ground with their bare feet. And then when they get to college or whatever level, put that same technology into whatever shoe that is going to be subscribed to them. Then it's exactly like they could say, hey, I need a bigger size, or I need this alteration because I actually understand what my foot needs. Or knowing like, okay, cool, I got, out of 24 hours a day, I'm barefoot, or I'm in the shoes I like, but like for the hour I'm on the field, I'm on the pitch, I'm on the court, I got to wear these things. Fine.
Exactly, and you're so right, because you can still run perfectly in any pair of shoes. You can perform perfectly in any pair of shoes, but the thing is, a lot of these super shoes and carbon plated shoes, they're designed for the pro athletes who know about their body, who have pretty tuned in technique. Whereas your everyday Joe who are buying these Alpha Flies, and destroying their bodies because the shoe is doing the work for them.
Yeah.
Because it's seen as the quick fix. Oh, this shoe's going to make me faster. This shoe's going to make me more efficient. Before they've actually done the work on their own body. And we're just in that world of convenience right now where we want the quick fix. We want the painkiller. We want the pain, just get rid of that pain straight away without having to put the work in. That's why I've started focusing more on kids now, is because you can prevent them from being in that pain a lot earlier on with that education and this conditioning, because a youth's body is so much more malleable and the soft tissue can just respond so much quicker than an adult. Going barefoot in your later years to perform is a lot harder than being a teenager. So people don't want to do it because it's hard work and they've got to put effort in. And it's unfortunately the where we are as humans, and everyone is going to look for the easiest way to do something. And that is the biggest problem, especially with the barefoot side of things and shoes, because if I can get this, just buy this shoe for $300 to make me run a marathon faster, I'm going to do that. Compared to 6 weeks to 6 months of foot mobility work just to get that quick win.
Yeah.
But like
it's just like food.
Exactly, yeah. It feels good at the moment, this short-term win, but what's that doing for that long-term health? Because one of my biggest philosophies around my coaching is it's longevity. Like, still to this day, every single day it kills me that I can't play rugby, I can't play sport, I can't sprint anymore. I'm so scared of something just going because I have an inner belief in my own body that I'm going to hurt myself, because I have in the past. If I knew back then, a little bit more work in, not do this, do a bit more of that, knowing that I would have more longevity to be able to play, just play a little bit longer than I could, I'd go back in an instant. And it's so hard to show this to anyone, really. It's like even thinking about, for people around about our age now, like thinking about when you're 70, 80, do you want to be mobile and moving then? Yes, okay, that starts now. That started 20 years ago. So it's that longevity, which is so goddamn important for everyone, but we don't think that far ahead. I love getting younger athletes into the clinic and helping treat them and just help them out. But I love it because I get to educate them. It's like, don't do what I did, which was nothing. I didn't stretch. I didn't mobilize. Basically, because I didn't know back then.
Yeah, for sure.
The cool thing today is we have all of the information available to you at your fingertips. And if you are willing and you want it more, you want it enough, you can do anything with your body because we've got the education. We've got the capabilities to find the potential in pretty much every athlete, but if you are willing. And that is the hardest thing, not to teach, but to show people what they've got. And that's why I love teaching the youth side of things, because getting them to understand what they could potentially do just by showing them with their own body, it's the most rewarding sessions I've ever had.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to keep doing.
What do you feel? I know earlier you mentioned that working with youth is easier because they're more malleable, they're more impressionable. What do you feel like is the most difficult or the most stubborn concept for adults, let's just say 30-ish and up, to accept around the barefoot life, or just like the barefoot life?
I think it comes back to laziness. It's hard work. Everybody this day is overworked, underslept, stressed. So you're now telling me I need to put work into my feet? What? Yeah. Who's going to... I don't want to do that. Like, most people don't want to. I mean, I'll admit, I try to do my footwork nearly every night. There's sometimes I'm sat on the sofa like, I can't be bothered right now. I've had so many clients that. And that's even for someone who loves doing this crap. So people who are not open to it, it's trying to change habits of years and years and years of, I should be right, I'm doing fine. Why do I need to do this? This is not what I've been told before. Why is this something new? So try like when I do explain the benefits of barefoot shoes, all this footwork to clients, they were like, yeah, wow, and everything. Do they all do it? No.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
a therapist, I'm
Definitely.
sure you've had so many clients like, oh, did you do your exercises? Oh, not really.
No.
And it's just the vast majority don't because yeah, because we are lazy, we are busy, we're tired, we're stressed. It's fucking tough.
Yeah. And
So that's the biggest hurdle.
today I ran 17K today, this morning, training for this half marathon. And 14 I ran 14K in the Vivos, in the Primus flows, and then I took my shoes off. And there was like a little there was a grass patch for about a kilometer, and
Nice.
then I just kind of went back onto the street for the next 2 kilometers, and I actually felt great taking my shoes off. Like, and it's interesting because after running 14 kilometers already, which, some people be like, man, your feet took a beating already. I felt better to run barefoot on the concrete and on the cement and on the pavement barefoot after running, and it was great. And I have a running group here in Mexico that I like share my stuff with. I put it in the WhatsApp group, and some people are like, "Oh my gosh, and barefoot too?" They're like, "I could never." And it's like, they're like, in most people when I tell this, like, man, I couldn't run probably 400 meters barefoot, and it's so wild to me. Like, really, you can't run? And I'm like, and fair, because if this is a new concept to you, then it's like, no, you couldn't. To the same point you're making, I'm saying, yeah, take some time, and they're like, yeah, no, I don't want to. Like, I don't want to start the process of like learning about my own body, learning about my feet. Like, all these people in this group are runners. They all run. One of the guys, he ran 16 kilometers today. He's like, yeah, I'm a city boy, and I'm like, I was born in the Bronx, like, and I'm running, and I'm running in your city. It's not like I'm on some countryside somewhere. Like, I'm literally, like, you see the video. I'm on pavement. We've ran together in the street, and it's like I wear barefoot shoes, so that kind of helps. But like, and I'm preparing to run this half marathon, and I think I'm gonna run it fully barefoot. If not, I'll probably do the first half in the Vivos and then take them off and then go the next half barefoot. But I really want to do the whole thing barefoot. So I think next month, November, the half marathon's in December. So I think next month I'm gonna take some time, more intentional time, in increasing my mileage, my kilometers in just barefoot, to just try to see how I could just slowly build that endurance. Because yeah, like, you hit one little pebble 2 times in the same spot, it's like,
On
never
that
mind.
heel.
Where's my shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Honestly, anywhere. Like, I've had a couple cut to my big toe, just from a stone, and it's nothing bad. I'm not like bleeding all over the floor or anything. But it's like I come back home and I look at my feet and I'm like, oh wow, when did I get that? Like, I didn't
Yeah,
feel it
yeah.
during the run, but I don't want to. I don't want to get something in mile 3 or kilometer 5,
Exactly. Yeah.
and I have 15 more to go.
Tough
So,
was a risk, isn't it?
yeah, but to the point of that, you're right. Like, just our natural human nature is that we're lazy, and I've been getting deeper into my faith, and I have the 7 deadly sins tattooed on my chest, and they were actually tattooed backwards so I could see them in the mirror. So
Wow.
it's a concept of like, only I could see my sins, no one else could see them.
That's cool.
But sloth is one of them, which is laziness. And it's like, okay, how can I not be lazy? Like, in parenting, in partnership, in marriage, in running, and being disciplined, and also like, hey, you need toe spacers on right now. Hey, you need to just like spend some time with your feet. Actually, just mobilize your feet. Just like while I'm sitting here, just like I could just be massaging my feet. Like, don't be lazy. Do the work that's necessary for the goals that you want. And I think that's also another part of it. Like, education works for the people who care and want better feet. And I think there's so many people that their feet haven't failed them, so they're like, I don't want any. I don't want to change anything. Like, they're not. They run. They work out. They're athletes. Their back doesn't hurt. Their knees don't hurt. Their hips are fine. So there's no drive to it, and that's why, from my perspective, putting on the Barefoot Games, which is more of an athletic performance event, that's like, hey, we want to see how raw you can be. We want the bare athletes here to show up and prove that they're faster, they're stronger going bare than they are in these other shoes. And I think that would then create a desire, like, well, I want to do that. I want to see how fast I am. I want to see my barefoot 40-yard dash, and to know what I want to see what I can run in a mile barefoot. And I think that then externally then inputs the desire to care about their feet, where
exactly
the education piece doesn't do it as much, I think.
no, totally. And people need to see it being done, because you see all these reports over the years of, oh, this person was barefoot, won the marathon back in the 60s and another one in the 70s. But the thing is, they're one off. They're one of a million, if that.
Yeah.
It's just not common enough for people to see and understand. Oh, you can do that. They're just seeing as, oh, look at that crazy person being barefoot. You know, even walking down the street, if you are barefoot, you will get weird looks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even in Australia here.
I got some weird looks this morning as I'm like, because I took my shoes off, so I'm carrying my shoes and I'm running, and people are like, okay.
What's that weirdo doing?
Yeah, that's a choice.
Exactly.
But it's
so,
but yeah, it's I think to that point of what you're saying, like, people need to see it, and in a great performance way, specifically athletes. I think, right, you know, like, having that conversation with athletes, because athletes then drive the amateur athletes, the wannabe athletes, the leisure athletes, and just the normal person. Like, if LeBron says, hey, I'm canceling Nike and I'm signing with Vivo,
yeah, wow.
Immediately Vivo, or Zero, let's say he goes with Zero because they have a basketball shoe already, immediately they explode. And people who like pick up a basketball once a week will buy Zeros because LeBron has them. Yeah. And it's like, and I think that more than your best podiatrist, your best therapist, whoever, your best foot specialist, they don't have that impact. Like, they could speech about, like, they could break down all the bones, all the muscles, the biomechanics, what it's doing to your shoulder, what it's doing to your hip, your back. But if LeBron says, I'm canceling Nike and I'm going with Zero, I'm going with Vibram, I'm going with, immediately everybody starts to look and like, well, maybe I need to try.
Yeah, I mean, it's so true. The amount of shit I've had on social media from some of my views and points around shoes, especially the Hoka brand and all that, like, I've ripped them to shreds, but then I got ripped to shreds because you don't know what you're talking about. You've got no research. You've got no study behind you. You're an idiot. You're a clown. But yeah, if LeBron came out and says, oh yeah, let's try this. You know, it's just...
And then let's say he does it, and then the game he plays in them, he scores like 60 points. It's like game over. Like, it's game over. Only. It's like, oh, if only. Yeah, right. If only. But I think, like, we're in a space where we're coaching, we're helping the next top athlete. And if our intentions are pure and we really actually love these athletes and want to help them be the best who they can be in the next 10 years, be the Messi, be the LeBron, be the Serena, be that person that's like, yeah, I need Like no, and they make the demand. I need barefoot shoes. I need shoes that fit my feet.
Hmm. It's getting a bit more popular, certainly in CrossFit, especially here in Australia. One of one of the all-time best female Aussie CrossFitters is now with Vivo, and
Nice.
she's on about them all the time. So that's a cool thing. So it's especially in CrossFit as well because it's such a functional sport that a lot of them are becoming more aware of it, which is cool. But with CrossFit, it's not soccer, it's not basketball, it's not rugby. It's
Yeah.
still, again, they're like the barefoot shoe of the shoe world, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Man, this conversation's been good. I am gonna get into our closing point, give our final set of questions. We did this before, so you probably know the questions and know the answers already. But what is your favorite pair of shoes?
Yeah, I remember this question, and I actually can't remember exactly what I said because there's a few different ones. But the ones I'm wearing right now, the ones you run in, the Primus Flows. So the Vivo Primus Flows, I train in them, I run in them. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, they're nice and comfortable and very nice and breezy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Overall, socks or no socks?
Toe socks.
Toe
I,
socks.
I
Love
don't
it.
wear anything but toe socks. I can't go barefoot in shoes because sounds funny, but my feet stink and my shoes stink, so I need the toe socks.
They may not stink as much. I don't know. Everything, everybody's body's different and thing, but thankfully, my shoes don't smell, and I raw dog my shoes all the time.
Yeah,
Your favorite space to be barefoot?
just home. I think her getting home at the end of a shift at the clinic and stuff, shoes and socks off, and it's like, oh, here we go. Walking on the carpet is nice, and every now and again, just taking the dog for a walk just to free them up.
Love it. Or what's the best warm up you would recommend, or even for yourself, specifically for the body or for the feet?
Pogo jumps, just jumping up and down, just getting the elasticity, getting the feet warm, getting the calves warm, Achilles, and just yeah, it's. I challenge anybody to do 2 minutes straight of just pogo jumps. It's tough. It's very tough, and most people should be able to do it, but we can't.
Yeah, yeah. It's not a it's yeah. Most people haven't done gym class after like ninth grade, so.
Nope.
uh, your favorite recovery, favorite form of recovery or recovery drill?
Oh, I think just my common routine is once I finish the gym here, I'll quickly drive home, and then I take the dog for a walk. Just walk it off. I'm not massive on sitting around and stretching and stuff because my body doesn't really respond well to it. It's just continuing to move to get the heart rate back down. So it's just trying not to be static straight afterwards.
Yeah, mine's definitely either toe spacers.
Yeah.
If I get a body work session, that's top tier. If I can get a full body session, that's top tier. But toe spacers is definitely a quick, easy go to because it's low level recovery. So I can put them on, and then my toes are just like they can space out from being in anything. Last, yeah, last question. Okay, what do you miss? What shoes do you miss wearing that you stopped wearing because of your awareness on foot health?
Oh, probably my footy boots, my cleats.
Yeah,
That was my big passion. I used to spend so much money on my boots, and I get my name on them. I get my number on them. I've still got them, even though I haven't worn them in 13 years.
yeah.
But I think the last time I probably put them back on just for shits and gigs was like my toes just screamed. So,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I've still got my worn out pair of footy boots, my Pumas from when I was 21, 22, when I had the best season of my life. I will never throw them out, even though they are useless. I just can't bring myself to throw them out. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, there's emotional ties there. There's emotional, not
Massive.
say baggage, but there's emotional, just yeah, love there. And I think I like that question because I think there's a perception for the barefoot people. It's like, oh, well, you probably don't even like anything anymore. It's like I miss my Adidas. Like I was such a big fan. The end of 2018, I got they were releasing their Ultra Boost 19s, and I got picked. They were coming to Atlanta to shoot, and they got picked to be a part of this group of people to run and be in the commercial and be in like the print ad. And I already like lived and breathed for Adidas. I would have done it for free. You know, it was a paid gig. It was great, and I did it. And then like months later, it was printed. It was like I remember Mother's Day. I ended up like flying back to New York, going to see my mom, bringing her to the store, and seeing my big picture in the Adidas store, and I was like,
That's cool.
"This is it. Like, this is the
You
best
made
Mother's
it.
Day gift I
You
get."
made it.
Yeah, and I was like, my favorite brand. I'm on the wall. I was thinking about getting like the three stripes tattooed on me. This is how much I like really like loved Adidas. Um, but yeah, so I definitely miss that, but I don't know if my foot will go in another pair of Adidas.
No, no, I can't go back to anything. And but outside of the football boots, I don't miss any of it because I never really loved a certain pair of shoes and from what I know now, I don't think I can love them.
Yeah, right.
It's funny. I bought this really. I remember that I've still got them because I haven't got rid of them. This really expensive pair of Timberlands, real nice black leather. I wore them twice, and they were horrible. They're so heavy, so clunky, and they're sitting in my wardrobe somewhere. And it's just like I don't know how anybody gets away with them. So yeah,
Yeah,
there's nothing that I really miss about that at all.
yeah,
Because the other thing, like you say with the Adidas, like all my life, like playing sport, I always wanted just to be sponsored by someone. I wanted to be able to get free clothes, free shoes, and that and stuff. And still to this day, I love it. Like I was been lucky enough for the past couple of months with Instagram that a few brands have reached out to me and said, "Try these shoes." I'm like, "Cool, yes, love it." Um, so hopefully more of that comes. That would be great. I love getting
yeah,
free shoes.
definitely. Well, Mick, thank you for having this conversation again with me. I think it was better this time. It flowed smoother. We just have to just keep doing it until we just just
So
keep
we
it a
get the
better
technology right,
conversation. Please share where people can find you and how they can work with you.
yeah, cool. So my biggest account is Natural Born Running on Instagram and a little bit on YouTube, but I'm my big focus today is helping out youths from ages 8 to 16, relearning how to run, helping them with their sport, no matter what sport it is. If it involves running, I can help, and is basically working with the parent as much as possible to help their kid. I'm really trying to help create a stronger bond with the parent and the kid because most parents, of course, are going to do whatever they can for their kids, no matter what, and building that stronger relationship, but also not just building better younger athletes, it's building more confident, more resilient, happier young athletes. That's my goal right now.
Love it, love it, love it. And we are signing off where we believe that the stronger the feet, the stronger the athlete. Look forward to seeing you at the next episode. Peace and love, everyone.